Once, by the side of a clear and sparkling river, lived a pair of cranes. They had built a cozy nest high up in a tree, a place they felt was safe to start their family. One day, the female crane laid 3 eggs for the first time. The 2 cranes were filled with joy and excitement, dreaming of the day when their chicks would hatch. Every day, they lovingly cared for the eggs, eager to meet their little ones. But what they didn't know was that these eggs would soon lead to a series of sad events. One sunny morning, the cranes left their nest to find food at a nearby part of the river. The river was full of fish, so they quickly filled their bellies and headed back to their nest, eager to see their eggs again. But when they returned, their hearts sank. The eggs were gone. The cranes searched everywhere, but there was no sign of the eggs or the thief. They were heartbroken, not knowing who had taken their precious eggs. In the end, they had to accept that their future chicks were lost. Hoping to avoid another tragedy, the cranes built a new nest in a different place. Time passed, and the female crane laid more eggs. This time, the male crane went out to find food, while the female stayed behind to guard the eggs. They followed this routine every day, hoping their new eggs would be safe. But then, one morning, the male crane returned to find his mate crying. The eggs were gone again. This time the female crane knew who had stolen them. A snake had come and eaten the eggs. When she tried to fight the snake, it turned on her, forcing her to step back and watch as it devoured the eggs right in front of her. The male crane, filled with anger and despair, went to his wise friend, the crab, and told him about their troubles. "I don't know what to do," he said. "The snake has taken our eggs again." The crab, calm and thoughtful, said, "Don't worry, my friend. We'll figure something out together." After thinking for a while, the crab came up with a plan. He whispered it to the male crane, who felt hopeful again. The crane rushed back to his mate to share the plan, eager to finally protect their eggs. "Are you sure this will work?" the female crane asked, worried. "We can't afford another mistake." But the male crane, determined to try, replied, "We have to do something." When the female crane laid her eggs again, they stuck to the plan. The next day, the male crane flew to the riverbank and caught small fish. He placed the fish in a trail leading from the mongoose's burrow to their tree, hoping to trick the mongoose into coming closer to the nest. Meanwhile, the male crane flew over to the snake's den and loudly announced that they had eggs again, hoping to lure the snake out. Although the crane feared for the safety of the eggs, he knew that if they did nothing, the snake would find them eventually. The mongoose, smelling the fish, followed the trail until it reached the tree where the crane's nest was. When it arrived, it saw the snake approaching the nest, and thinking the snake was a threat, attacked first. The 2 animals fought fiercely, each trying to overpower the other. The battle continued for a long time, until finally, the mongoose killed the snake. From their nest, the cranes watched and sighed in relief. The snake, their tormentor, was gone. But their relief didn't last long. The next day, when the cranes returned from fishing, they were shocked to see the mongoose climbing down from their tree. Rushing to their nest, they discovered that the mongoose had eaten their eggs. This new predator was even worse than the snake. Friends, the story of these cranes is like the challenges we face in life. Sometimes we make decisions without thinking about the consequences, and things can get worse. For example, people often turn to quick fixes, like loans, to solve problems, only to end up with even bigger troubles. So, be careful with solutions that seem easy. Try to stay calm and think clearly, even in tough times. Consider the consequences of your actions so that you can solve your problems the right way. And remember, don't forget to leave a like and a positive comment to keep us motivated in sharing more inspirational stories. Subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Thank you, and see you in the next story.